the Dr. Dawn, the advice queen and the advice diva, where it's no judgment, just realness. And later on in the show, Dr. Dawn will be doing one of your favorite segments, her Q&A. Well, I will be answering your juicy life questions. I got some good loved ones today, y'all. And then at the end, I will be giving you some positivity to take you out on the weekend with my Dr. Dawn Daily Dose. But, you know, I always do my Film Friday show every second Friday for my girls. But I did something different. I brought in a brother who's supporting the women, so it's still Film Friday, and it counts, right?
Yes,
So we have in the studio Randy Shelby Jr., founder of Love Black Women Campaign.
Yes, ma'am.
Randy Shelby Jr., how are you? And the queens of the Love Black Women Campaign, Victoria and Ashley. Say hello, everybody.
Hi, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Thank y'all for being here.
No problem.
Oh, Love Black Women Campaign. When I saw that, Randy finally was able to put Dr. Dawn on the calendar.
2 years in the making.
2 years. I'm glad he was able to get this black woman on your Black Women Campaign. I am so excited, y'all. We're gonna have some good conversation. Some of you all have already sent me comments on Twitter about the skin lightening, and we'll get into that later. But if you want to call in 713-222-0715 or continue to send your comments on Twitter at VDRDAWN. Are we ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, everybody ready? Everybody's black, everybody's beautiful in here. All kind of shades of black. We got Soul doing the video. Yes, and first question, Randy, I have to ask you, and I asked you off the air, but for those wanting to know, do you have a black woman? Are you dating a black woman?
Yes, I am dating a very beautiful Sierra Leonean princess.
Okay. A Rachel Dozel, or have you confirmed it? Is she black or is she a Rachel Dozel?
Oh, definitely black dog. Chocolate sister.
Okay. And chocolate caramel macchiato, but we're all beautiful. But I love the initiative, but as a man, why was it on your heart to have an organization supporting black women?
I guess it all goes back to the statement that Denzel Washington character played in Malcolm X, saying that the starting of a nation begins with the black woman. So we have to be careful with the message that we give to her, because the message that she gives to the child will give to the world. She's the first teacher of the child. So I thought it was only befitting that we start with the black woman.
Yeah. Now, Victoria and Ashley are sisters. They just met today, y'all. Y'all would think
We
that,
sisters now,
we
though.
sisters. Yeah, but talk about how long have you known Randy?
Maybe 3 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah. 3 weeks.
Okay.
It feels like forever. The first time we met, we just sat and just talked. We
Yeah.
just talked, and it was just awesome.
Yeah. And
Definitely.
you felt the spirit.
Definitely.
Right? That he's
Definitely.
genuine. Yeah.
Definitely very genuine.
Yeah. You, Victoria?
I've known him maybe 3-4 months, if that.
Well, we met.
We met. I was working at Cotton On in the Galleria. I was working at Cotton On in the Galleria, and he approached me. I had this big black and purple afro at the time.
Okay.
So if you could imagine. And he was like, I really like your style. I think it's dope. I have this campaign, and I'm so open. Like Ashley said, his energy and his vibe is so genuine. You know what I'm saying? He comes to you out of nothing but love and sincerity. So I was definitely down. And since then, he's kept me on board with the campaign. He's plugged me in with a lot of different opportunities in conjunction with the campaign. He's been a huge blessing.
Yeah.
So.
That's good.
Phenomenal singer she is.
Whatever.
Well, honey, we might get you to sing the Black National Anthem later. I don't know. I'm feeling it. I'm just saying. Okay, and you, Miss Ashley? Not singing, but
I can't
Brandy.
sing. I was like,
No. Brandy. Talk about Brandy and this initiative and your.
We met at Cafe 4212.
On Almeida.
Yes,
I love that
been
spot.
there on a Thursday night.
It's
You need
dope.
to go support. Rhythms Thursday, open mic night, live band, live music.
What's
poetry.
the cost to get in?
I think it's free of charge at this time.
I know black
It
folks.
might be $10. Might be $10 after 10.
And my black folks, we want to know. We like to know how much is it. And do they have wings?
They have great wings.
Oh, okay.
Phenomenal wings.
Hey,
Wings and wine. Wings and wine.
Wings, wine, and women.
Yeah.
But let me we have to talk about the Love Black Women campaign and why you got people out there, Dr. Dawn, why can't it be just love black, love women? Why does it have to be black women? Just like Black Lives, why can't it be all lives matter? Why do we have to have a Love Black Women campaign? Why can't it be all women?
I mean, personally for me, my mother is black. All of my family members that are women are black women. My girlfriend is a black woman. So how should I say, I know the details of the issues more so than I know anyone else's struggle.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, if there was a Latin man who came to me and who genuinely wanted to do something for his woman, I would allow him to use the brand in his likeness and give him his own lane to do whatever it is he needed to do.
Okay.
I feel like brown people at this time really do need to stick together. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
But as far as my black woman, I'm definitely putting my effort forward.
Yeah.
Strictly just for them.
And I had to clear that up because you're not, and ladies, I want you to weigh in on this, Victoria, Ashley. We are not racist if we have a campaign supporting our own race, right?
None of
right?
that.
No.
Yeah.
I feel personally like for so long, what was that quote that you had by Malcolm X that said black women are the most unappreciated, some of the most degraded, especially in the media. When we are portrayed in the media, we're portrayed as in a negative light. You know, you guys know all of the negative stereotypes that come with being a black woman. And so I feel like to put forth an initiative that gives us love and that allows a platform for all of these different beautiful black women to come together. I've met so many amazing women that have businesses, that have different brands and things, you know what I'm saying, to give us a positive platform to put our foot forward. I think that's what the Love Black Women campaign has been for me.
Definitely. I personally, I love all shades. Like, I'm the most diverse person that you will probably meet. All my friends know that. But I am black. I'm a black woman. My mom's a black woman. My first friends were black women.
Yeah.
I know what it's like to be black and to be a victim of certain treatments and the way people look at you. And I've walked in, as a business owner, I've walked into a business meeting and been the only black woman, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, you're looking at me funny, but when I start speaking, and then I start speaking,
and you're open,
and I already have a baby face, so I already know she black and she look young, and then I start speaking like, oh, she's intelligent, so it's just, it sucks. I mean, I'm all for, love and like just loving women and loving, generally, I'm a loving person. I love people. I just love mankind. But I do know that it's been a struggle for black women. And I definitely think there's nothing wrong with giving us a platform, just like black men have a black platform, or women, or men in general. Like,
LBG.
It don't even just different communities. It doesn't matter. I'm all for each and every community, and I have to say the first one's gonna be the black woman community because I'm a black woman.
Yeah.
So definitely.
No, go ahead.
If you don't mind, I'd like to kind of piggyback off that a little bit. When you look at other ethnicities, their women are often romanticized. So you think about white women, no offense, but you think about white women, Latin women, even Asian women, they all have their fantasy stigmas. You know what I'm saying? Exotic.
Long hair,
they're very romanticized. But when it comes to us, now I think now the stigma is definitely changing a lot. I see our generation definitely putting forth the effort to make sure that we are noticed and that we are seen for our strengths and for the things that we do bring to the table. But I think prior to, we definitely were undervalued and underrepresented in a huge way.
And mainly because we don't own any production companies to have that creative control over, portraying our women the way that we want to. So
and that goes to my next statement, because I did pull this off of your Instagram as well. We're the most untapped and neglected resource in the black community. I had a sister who told me we are unprotected. She said we're not even protected by our own men. And we think we're in our little lives and girl, everything's okay, but it's not okay. But when you have a sister who's pretty high up there who tells you that, it's like, dang, everybody's feeling that way. I don't care where you are in your status, from the women to the top and the bottom, feeling like you're unprotected. So, Randy, because one of the things I read about your organization, you started it to encourage black men to love black women, right?
Yes, most definitely.
But what is the problem sometimes with black men not, I don't want to say not being able to love black women, but when you talk to black men about their relationships with black women, what is their response to you?
There are a lot of sicknesses out there. This is personally for me. If you look at any top rap song that came out this year in reference to a woman, it's almost like you are glorifying having someone else's woman more so than having your own. So little things like that can really interfere with the healthy relationship between a black man and a black woman.
Okay. But we got to look beyond that, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
isn't that excuses? You know, and I'm just...
And consciously, I know, and all men know what it looks like, or what we should do. But when we have so many things playing on our subconscious mind, just we get into a routine of doing things that we don't need to do.
Okay.
And I fall victim of that myself as well.
Oh, I think we all have.
And
Yeah.
I would definitely like to speak on a current event, actually.
Okay.
I'm not sure exactly where this took place, but if you do know about Juve, I'm sure a lot of people in Houston, we all know about Juve.
Oh, yeah.
We all know how rowdy it gets. And recently, a black man shot a black woman because she wouldn't grind on him. And he killed her. Okay? Now, that speaks volumes of how he... And maybe, I can't say that he speaks for other black men, but him specifically, how he sees black women. He, off the rip, I think he just objectified her. Like, she's just supposed to, you know, that's kind of more so of her purpose. And that just speaks a lot about our community. I don't understand. I'm still, like, dumbfounded over it. Like, what went through your mind? What were you so hurt about? There had to, a black woman, what did the black woman do to you?
Part of it is the mental. You know, it could have been some mental, you know, a lot of some of the...
Well, the reason why I say this is because I've been to Juve maybe like 2-3 times, and that was maybe could have been mental, but I've seen certain attributes similar, not necessarily down to the path of like killing somebody, but I see how the men in those environments, how they treat women. I stopped going because I'm big on people touching me, so I used to get, and I'm little, I used to get grabbed left and right, and I would have to be like, no, you need to stop, and then I would come off looking like an angry black woman, but I'm not angry, I'm just like, look, you violated me.
Okay, somebody says, and you can say, they're not necessarily talking about Juve, they're talking about black women respecting themselves. We can touch on that. That's a good one. And we're not saying in any way the sister deserved to get shot. That's not what we're saying. No.
And I think that's the biggest issue that I do have with even myself and other black men.
In our society to uplift and, you know, be here for black women, I'm all for that. But I'm all for black women loving and respecting themselves first. That's where it starts.
Yeah. Randy mentioned something earlier, and this is a little bit of a throwback, how he said that we don't control the media. We don't have a lot of pull in the media. And so I think for the black community as a whole, sports, music, that's where we connect, you know?
Yeah.
And so the music and the videos and the video vixens and all this, that, and the third, the things that the guys are saying that they want in their music, you know, we hear that subconsciously and we take that in. And I feel like at the end of the day, even if a woman is not respecting herself, everybody, man or woman, wants to be loved. Yeah. And so a lot of times you find women doing things outside of themselves to attract the male, you know, to attract male love and to attract male attention. So just as important as it is for us to hold ourselves accountable and for us to empower ourselves, I think it's very important to bring awareness that black men, you have to really pay attention to what it is that you're asking for from us. You know, what is it that you're looking for from us? And it is important to have your love as well. Yeah. Because that's what we fight. You guys, y'all get cars, y'all get haircuts. You know what I'm saying? You try to find a good job where you making more than $10 an hour so you can take us out to eat. Yeah, like that's what you're doing. You do it all for the love and the attraction of a woman, whether you want one woman or 10. Yeah. You're doing it for the woman. And anything that a woman does, we're not putting on short shorts and short skirts for ourselves. We're doing it because we want to be loved, because we want you to love us. And that's why we wearing 20-inch weave.
Hold on. Hey. Get out of here. Get out of here. Don't talk about two things we don't talk about. My mama and we don't talk about my weave. Get out of here.
So imagine what I had to go through with that photo shoot we did.
That looked so fun. Let me tell you, the positivity. And what I love about what you are doing, you see all kind of sisters. Shapes, sizes, hair is different, complexion is different. But these women, you can tell it wasn't a fake photo shoot where we're gonna fake smile. Y'all really, it's like the spirit of this organization.
He handpicked everyone.
Everybody who needed to be there was there. Okay. And the chemistry was amazing. I never seen anything like that.
It was a really great experience.
Okay, but let's talk about the types of, let's talk about media, because we talked about media and black beauty and what is portrayed as black beauty in videos and music. it's always the paper bag, the sister who's the color of the paper bag, the light-skinned sister, the songs Yellow Bone, Green Eyes. So this can affect and damage a woman's self-esteem, a black woman's self-esteem. Have you all dealt with those issues? You know, growing up or even now sometime. I mean, we all are confident sisters, but there had to have been a time when, and even now, I've felt it. Because I was eating and I heard these two black guys talking about, oh, I'm dating this girl, and one of the brothers asked, oh, how'd she look? Was she a dark? Oh, you know, I don't date no dark-skinned sisters. And I really wanted to go over there, but I would have been the angry black woman. And this is why, and this is why he doesn't date dark-skinned sisters, because they, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I just heard it, and I was like, God, that hurts. But then I was like, I'm Dr. Dawn. But still, it kind of hurt, because you don't love everyone. You're saying, so y'all talk about that. Have y'all ever had issues with what's going on with media and what they portray as black people?
And funny story for me, growing up, I was a really big Martin fan.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, I'm like 8, 9 years old at the time. I'm seeing Martin in a relationship with Gina, who's a light-skinned female.
Very light.
And always had jokes about Pam.
Always.
Like all throughout the episode, right?
Okay.
So I'm always looking at Gina as more attractive than Pam. Until I get to be like 18, 19. I'm looking back at the show, all the reruns, and I'm like, dude.
And Pam had it going on. She had the donkey.
Pam is still going on.
Ain't the same better than
Teacher's not looking so
When I got older,
She
and looking back at them episodes, I'm like, man, Pam was really the one. Like, she was way more attractive than Gina. But being that young and not knowing, I'm just thinking, BDB, buckshots. Like, I don't want that. Gina's the most attractive one. So,
wow. Yeah, ladies.
My most struggle, I'm Nigerian. So my number one struggle was growing up, it was like, oh, don't bring African girls around. But I could bring Black American girls around. Now, in my head, I was like,
why isn't
all my friends, I'm tired of these Africans, I'm tired. But I'm like, the next black girl, just because her last name is Jones and she was born and raised here, is still African. Look, she got the same roots that I have. It doesn't matter. She didn't come from, she's not Mexican.
Yeah.
We know she's not Mexican.
Yeah.
We know she's not Indian.
Yeah.
She's black. So therefore, she's from somewhere in Africa.
Yeah.
Regardless. So that was definitely something that I dealt with growing up, and I kind of still here and there deal with. And I'm not going to say that I'm perfect because I've fallen into it, but that's something I definitely try to get my mind out of. Like, we have to stop separating the what kind of black. I mean, that's something I deal with only because I'm Nigerian. So I deal with the whole, okay, you black, you African, you Nigerian, you're this, you're that, and I'm just like, okay, well, at the end of the day, we're black, we're women. Like, what's wrong with, what's different between you and I? There's really nothing
at all.
Thank you, Neff. Let me stop. I gotta give my Twitter people. Thank you all for showing us love on Twitter. Thank you, Neff, for always showing us love. Go ahead. Sorry, I have to. Go ahead.
And I was just saying though, like, there's nothing different between you and I. If I didn't open my mouth today and say I was Nigerian, nobody would know.
That's right. Yeah. But we gotta be proud of ourselves, where we come from. And we got to. Let me tell y'all what I'm about to say. And I'm going to be honest, Dr. Dawn has to be very careful about what she does and what she's part of. I don't have light skin, dark skin conversations. Some of these discussions are not productive. They're just not productive. And I think instead of all this light skin, dark skin, light girls, dark girls, all that, let's just say black, period, is beautiful. It's just too much going on. And there's always, we always think the grass is greener on the other side. But I had a light-skinned woman, she told me, she said, being light is a curse. Being light-skinned is a curse. And I'm like, what? And she says, God, I wish I was dark like you. And I'm like, what are you? So you have dark sisters thinking it's better to be light. But you got light sisters who, so really we all need to realize we need to come together because we all have insecurities, right? Randy, talk about that.
Yeah, and it's crazy that I talked to an Asian guy the other day, and he said that a lot of women where he's from, they get surgery to make their eyes bigger because they want to stand out from the rest of the women with slanted eyes. Wow. But they're just doing that to stand out from other women. It seemed like with black people, it's like a competition between light skin and dark skin, like too much. Yeah. If you look at all the memes that are on social media, it's always like a joke between the two, like, oh, this side is better at this side is better at that. And it's just causing more division. Now, whether or not Willie Lynch is a fictional character or not, the science behind, you know, the ideology that was in that book, it still lives true today.
Somebody,
it's still affecting us.
They said, I guess he's light-skinned, the stereotype, light-skinned people sensitive. Like, oh, that's funny, really?
I don't know if it's because of Drake.
Drake.
Really? Yeah. And I've also heard the light-skinned people, because this light-skinned woman, she was talking about her boyfriend, and he was light-skinned. She showed us the picture. And this brother, light-skinned brother, he said, usually light-skinned people can't date each other. What is that about? You know what I'm saying? Why can't light-skinned people date each other, Randy? Because you got a chocolate sister, so maybe it's true. I don't get it, y'all. It's too much of that going on.
All I did like was light-skinned women, but now it seems like I've converted to.
But see, you haven't converted. But see, next year, if you broke up with this sister, next year you're with a light-skinned woman, so what?
Yeah.
You know, we shouldn't be worried about that. We shouldn't be worried about that. Ladies,
I think now more than ever, the beautiful thing, because I am dark skinned, so I dealt with the with the insecurities growing up. Being teased as kids can be cruel.
Oh, they can.
Kids can be so mean, and I was actually darker when I was younger. I don't know.
But you skin lightening cream? We gonna talk about that later. How did you get lighter? What's going on? We gonna talk about the skin lightening cream later. Okay, all right.
But one thing that I'm really loving right now is that in lieu of all of the recent events that have happened, and not so recent, everything that's happened in the Black community to us has really forced us to band together with other cultures, with each other. I think especially since I've started college, being at both the university.
Hold on, I got another comment. Soul of a Man 504 says, Black is beautiful. Oh, you know where he's from. New Orleans. New Orleans. Randy's loving you. Thank you, Soul of a Man. He says, Black is beautiful all over the world. And yes, it is a mental thing. So thank you for that comment, Damon. Yeah, go ahead.
And that's what I was about to say. With all of the recent things that have happened to us in America, to Black people, we're noticing that the things that have happened to us within our own communities, it's systematic. And I think it's forced us to band together in a great way. Being at the University of Houston, being at Texas Southern University, being able to mix and mingle with different cultures and different diversities. I think African people, there's a huge African presence in Houston as well, especially in the younger crowd. We're a lot more connected than we are divided. I think the light skin, dark skin thing, the Black versus African thing, I see that dissipating a lot more. And we're definitely connecting on a whole nother level. I see, even though there shouldn't be a separation, I do see dark-skinned women being valued more. Our features being valued more, the things about us being valued more. So there is a turn, natural hair being valued more.
Good for y'all.
Well, I mean,
it
still has a real ethnic look to it, and so I think all of those things they're being brought to the forefront. They're being brought to the limelight. They're being forced into the media. Despite the negative, events that had to happen to make it happen, it's happening, and there's definitely a movement going on in the younger generation, in college age students, young adults. There's a movement happening. We're not dealing with that anymore. We don't have time.
The cycle is broken. Do we think this generation? I really feel like this generation of these millennials. The millennials are going to break the cycle.
Oh yes.
I think. Don't you think? Because I have interviewed the millennials several times, and I love talking to young people. They're like, Dr. Don, when I get out of college, I don't want to work for nobody else. It's just the millennials, I think, truly are going to break the cycle.
I think
don't y'all feel that?
The power structure and elite families definitely have a problem on their hands. I think the baby boomer generation has settled for a nice house, a nice car, being able to put their kids through college.
Our kids won't have those advantages, so we have to do something.
But see, y'all see it. Y'all see it, and isn't it like we're kind of going back to the 60s? Do y'all feel like y'all are going to be the new civil rights leaders?
I think it's necessary. After a lot of our leaders in the 60s and 70s were assassinated, it kind of left us without a nucleus. I think there were still movements that happened. There was still positive advancements that were made on the behalf of colored people, but I feel like the whole movement, the national movement, it totally dissipated. And if you really look back in the 60s, a lot of people that were making things happen then were young people. They were college students doing boycotts on the buses, just riding from state to state. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel like we're not only going to make those kind of advancements, but then some, because it's not just for black people. It's for all people. The inequality and the racism and the stereotypes that we give to people and the way that we treat each other across the board, it has to stop. It absolutely has to stop. So
the black man and the black woman, though, and Randy, I want you to weigh in on this. The foundation of the black community and sustaining the black community is that healthy relationship between the black man and the black woman, correct?
And that's really
is that one of the foundations to you? Or?
I think it is. I think the family is the most basic and the most powerful structure that you can have in any movement, any nation.
Yeah.
Which is why I have the Love Black Women campaign first, and then later on, I would say about October-ish, we'll be dropping the Respect Black Men campaign.
Oh, okay.
And I think when we have a mutual respect between a mutual understanding of love for black women and respect for black men, only then can we go out and start building economic strategies for our community.
That's what I was going to ask. Why do you not have a Love Black Man campaign? But that question was answered. And for those of you all, the brothers, of course.
Like love, per se, I'm real big on respect. A woman respecting me. I feel that love, when you say I love you, it's not saying I feel a certain way about you. It's like a confirmation of what I'm already doing. Love is a sacrifice. It's action. It's something that I'm doing. So when I say that, you should recognize that as, oh, he is loving me when he says, I love you. So I never saw that as a feeling, if you can understand that.
I'm a pretty smart sister.
I
was silent because I had an aha moment. I can tell, seriously. Yeah. Look, he knows what he's talking about. And I love when I bring people up in this studio and you can truly explain what you... This is not a t-shirt he's wearing because, this is a movement that has to happen. Okay? But I want to talk about us as role models. We all are really role models for the younger generation. We all have a responsibility. You can't say, well, Dr. Dawn, it's not my problem. My mom raised me, we have to reach back. It doesn't matter where you grew up. You can go to the hood. Okay, and is that a derogatory when I say the hood?
No.
Okay. It's the truth. I don't care if you grew up in Sugar Land or Richmond. You can go back to Scott Street, and you can join a program and mentor a young sister. It is all our responsibility. Any young black child that looks like you, we all are role models, right, ladies? Let's start with you, Ashley.
Definitely. I see myself as a really major role model, especially because the family that I do come from, we're very like, oh, go to school, be a doctor, do this, and I'm like the biggest rebel ever. I'm the biggest rebel, but I'm not a rebel in the negative light. I'm a rebel for what I believe in and what I feel and what I feel is right, and I'm genuinely like a very loving person. So I have my little sister looking up to me. I have my mom looking up to me. She actually read an interview a couple of months ago, and she sat down and she was like, I read your interview and it made me think about life. Like, what was I doing?
Wow.
What am I gonna leave on this earth outside of my children? Because for my brand, it's called our statement is make your mark. My brand is production, but it goes further than that. It's about...
Oh, is that it?
Yes. It's about leaving something on this earth that came from within you, outside of a child or a family. Just, what were you put on this earth to do? Was I here to help you get to the next level? Was I here to help you get your brand out? What were we all here to do? Do something and do what your heart tells you to do. I like my mom, she was like, I always wanted to be, I wanted to be a pilot. And I was just like, I laughed, but I was like, well, why didn't you do it?
But in their generation, you went to school, you went to nursing school, you were a teacher,
you did all these
you worked for 40 years and you retired.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So as a role model, I definitely want to set that standard of, hey, do what your heart says to do, because this is one life and you're not going to get another one. And when you leave, you want to leave something with, whether if you touch one person's life and that person can say, dang, Victoria changed my life. She did this, and that. You left your mark on something, somewhere, out in this world. It doesn't even matter.
I hate to switch topics. Somebody said Copernic. They want to know what we think about Copernic. I'm standing for the... Shaquille O'Neal went in on him and was like, I wouldn't have done that.
Well, that's just him. I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. I think Shaquille O'Neal can have his...
I'm not a sports person. I'm sorry. Hey, this question. Kilpatrick, Kaepernick, the football player. And it is football season, right?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I knew it had cabbage. Okay, yeah.
Yesterday.
So what do we think about it since we're talking about black men, black women, people of color?
Yeah, I think he did what he felt like he needed to do. Like I said, if that's how you feel like you want to handle it and how you want to make your statement be heard, then that's just the way you're gonna do it. Shaquille O'Neal could have been like, well, I'm gonna write a letter to the president. If that's how you wanted to do it, and that's all on you. But I don't think